you someone who feels like you got to be right, right? You don't want to be wrong. Um, you want to be in the right, and maybe you've been in arguments with people. You're like, I've got to be right. Well, today I want to talk about this and an approach to this that you can really take in your life that I found has really enhanced the quality of mind and the way I see the world. And if you stay until the very end, I have an extra point for you then as well. Now, if you want to connect with me more on social media, you can find my links in the show notes below. This came from the other day when I was in a shop in just around the corner from where I live. A very quick walk. Anyway, I was in the shop and obviously getting a few groceries. And could I just call it groceries? I hang out with too many people who say that word. Anyway, I was getting some food for my life, and then there was like this guy, and he was wearing a coat, and he had all these things under his coat, and he was about to walk out the door. The security guard grabs him, and then, of course, he's a shoplifter, right? And the guy catches him, and he has to give all the stuff back, and he's obviously kicking off because he got caught, all this kind of thing. And what I realised in this moment, there was a lot of people watching, and there were two school kids who just came and watched in the shop. They actually walked back from their word to watch, and then they were kind of in my way, so I had to ask them to move politely out of my way because they were just watching. And then, yeah, everyone was looking at this guy like judgmentally, and it made me realise something that I'd learned. And for a moment, admittedly, I did. I went, "Oh, what an idiot! Why'd you do that? What kind of person steals?" And then I realised I was being judgmental. And I'm not saying shoplifting's right. It's totally not. I do not condemn that behaviour or any kind of wrongdoing of the law, of course. You know, and it's something I've certainly can very confidently say I've never done. And I remember there was something I heard about like judgment and being right, being wrong, and people are very easy to label right and wrong. And what I found is it separates us, and it separates you from connecting more with other people. I found. So we all have certain models of the world, and people are like, "Well, I wouldn't shoplift." Hold on. If you were say you were that person who shoplifted the other day, this man, and you had the same story in your life, had been through the same experiences, had maybe the same hurt, the same wounds, the same beliefs, you would have shoplifted as well, right? And people were like, "No, I wouldn't." Well, you would if you had the same story and your same mind and everything, life experience, right? It's the reason people do what they do, I realise. It's because they go through experience. And again, it doesn't mean all behave, it doesn't mean like I'm like saying, yeah, it's okay to do bad behavior and things like that. It's about understanding where someone's from, right? Because it's so easy to be like, "Oh, I can't believe they acted like that." Maybe in less extreme examples, like I just said. But it's like that person has gone through their own experiences, their own wounds. And when I've realised that, that's really helped me. Now, I still stand up for myself, someone, for example, I've known, someone I was close to, like, gone through a lot of hurt, and I was very understanding, but like I would still like just be honest what I wanted, and being very clear. I would try and do I try and do that as much as possible, because again, I'm sticking up for me. I've got my own self-love and what I want, and communicating clearly like my boundaries with people. Yeah, when you can understand rather than judge people, I found it's really enhanced the quality of my life. So maybe you're judging someone, you're like, "This is right, this is wrong," and you're wanting to be right all the time. Well, at the end of the day, what I've learned is we've all got different models of the world. So I want to talk about how you can connect more to yourself and other people right now. So the first thing is find time every day to connect to your heart. This could just be simple breathing into the heart. Just take 5 minutes and visualize your heart and breathe into it. And the more you can do this, the more you connect to your heart, because we're very I found most human beings, including myself, are very driven by the mind. It's like we forget we have this heart that's got this intuition. It knows what we want. It feels what we want. And it really has this connection and this longing to love other people. Yet the mind can get analytical, get fearful from all our stories and our things like that. But if you can find time to connect with your heart every single day, it can be super powerful. Try it for a week. 5 minutes breathing into your heart, right? And again, as I always say, like, don't just like hear me talk about this stuff and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because you don't know this stuff until you actually live it and try it, or you actually do it. So connecting your heart is a really powerful one. The second one is celebrate the actions that you take in your life. Celebrate all the good actions that you feel is good. The other day, I, for example, gave a homeless woman £20. I was celebrating that like anything. I was actually going to give her, I'll be honest, I was going to give her a tenner, but the cash machine didn't have 10, so she was lucky. She got 20. I guess it was a blessing in disguise. And I celebrated that. But just celebrate all the great things you do, like, that genuinely feel good, because the more you celebrate it, the more you want to do it, more of it. The third one is just find people who make you feel good, not like logically like, oh yeah, they'd be a good person to hang about. Oh yeah, I've known them for a long time, I've got to hang out with them. No, like, what feeling in your body, and this comes back to your heart because you can feel into what's right. People who make you feel good, find more of them and hang out with them. And there's more opportunity to do this than ever on things like online groups, communities, similar interests. That's why people go into big groups like the Tony Robbins Facebook groups, although admittedly you get a lot of people obviously pitching it there and stuff, but like, those kind of groups are really good for connection. Okay, now I got a final point for you. As always though, if you want to connect me on social media, you can find my links in the show notes below. The final point is validate yourself more. Like, give yourself more validation for doing what was right by you. All right, and just keep a log of it, like being like, okay, I did this today and that felt good. I did this and that felt really good. Because the more you can gather this evidence, the more the logical mind, the analytical mind that can get fearful, can actually start gathering evidence that you are following your heart and you're connecting with you and you're doing what is right for you. So the more you write, the more you invite, as one of my mentors says as well. So that's what I wanted to share with you today about. I really want to talk about this because lots of people are like, what is right, what is wrong? And again, we've got our own models of the world, but I want you to follow it for what is right for you and what feels good, and not coming from a place of judgment for other people, sticking up for yourself and doing what is right for you, yet understanding that people come from their own model of the world. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here, and remember to leave with your heart and not with fear.